Hi everybody, this is Mr. De Ocampo. This video is for Team Bulbasaur. We just had class today, which is Thursday. Um, and now I'm going to tell you about your asynchronous assignment. You're going to get your asynchronous assignment is due Friday, September 18th. And you're going to do this assignment on Seesaw. Okay? Let me show you how to get onto Seesaw. So feel free to pause this video when you need to and rewind this video when you need to, okay? So, excuse me. These are the steps you're going to follow on Seesaw. All right. Whoops, sorry. Step 1. You're going to clever.sfusd.edu. You're going to do that. And by the way, all of these steps are going to help you get into Seesaw, okay? Step B. You're going to press the button that says login with Google. Step C, you're going to my page, Mr. De Ocampo's page. And it looks like this. You see this little picture on the left? Okay, so you're going to click on that. Then what's going to happen is, let's look at 1A. Now you're going to go to Seesaw. So you're going to look for this button right here. You're going to look for this picture of a seesaw, and you're going to click Seesaw. You're going to go to Seesaw. And then let's look at 1B. Then you're going to look for CCSS Math 6 math class, okay? Now it might say 6.2, it might say 6.1, 6.3, might say something else, slightly different. But as long as you're clicking on the math class, you'll be fine. And then you're going to go to activities. You're going to go to activities, and then you're going to tap the green add response button. And it looks like, if you look at this picture right here, it looks like what this person is pointing at, okay? And so that is there's only one activity to do. I'm actually going to show you what steps 1A, 1B, and 2 look like, okay? So let me do this right now. I'm gonna show you what that looks like. All right. This is me as a student, and I'm already logged into Seesaw. Okay, I'm already logged into Seesaw. So if you're logged into Seesaw, this is what it looks like. Now it says here, go to the CCSS Math 6 class. So I'm gonna go right here on the top left, and I'm going to pick my math class. Okay. Now again, it's either gonna be 6.2 or 6.3 or 6.6 or 6.7 math. Okay. So just pick your math class, whatever it is. And now I'm officially in my math class because it says here math. Okay. Next thing I'm going to do, let me read my steps. Go to activities. Okay. Activities. Activities is right here. So when I click on activities, hey, it shows me the one activity I have to do. And ladies and gentlemen, this is your one activity that you'll have to do. And then the final step is then tap the green add response button. Okay. So these are the things I have to do. I have to do 1, 2, 1. Whoops. That's funny. Let me go back. I have to do 1, 2, and 3. And I need to add my response. Okay? When I click on add response, if you just saw me do that, let me do it again. Let me do it one more time. I felt like I went a little bit fast. Nope. Don't delete. Well, anyway, I'm here. Okay? Now, if I want to view the instructions, let me go ahead, press view instructions, and you can see the 3 things you have to do. Okay. View instructions. These are the 3 things that I have to do. All right. So the question is, which is greater? Is it negative 300 or positive 200? I have to draw on the number line below. Or you do. This is your assignment. Number 2, you also have to write an inequality statement. You can write something like this, or you can write something like this. And then we want you to explain your ideas, to explain your work by typing or speaking words. Okay, so if you want to type, use this text tool, and you can type stuff to explain your work. Move it around. If you want to speak your ideas, you can use this microphone and just allow your microphone to do that, okay? You have a bunch of tools on the bottom. Whoops, sorry. Yeah, you have a bunch of tools on the bottom, so you can draw on this number line as much as you want, okay? All right, so again, instructions are here. It's just 3 things to do. That is your assignment. If you still need help, we have workshops tomorrow. Feel free to email teachers as well. I hope this video helps you get into Seesaw. This is your activity to do for your async time, and it's due Friday. Take care. I'm going to post another video about today. Bye. Actually, I changed my mind. So I'm just going to keep this all in one video. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is I'm going to talk about today's class. Now, you can either stop this video if you don't want to hear about today's class, or keep listening to this video if you want a recap of what today's class was like. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about today's class. Today's class was about positives and negative numbers. We had a chance to talk about where in the world we see negative numbers and what we knew about them. We remembered that we ask clarifying questions when we're confused. We then went on to Nearpod. Now, if you missed our Zoom session this morning, or if you want to do the Nearpod again, you're going to get a code so that you can do the Nearpod again, or you can do the Nearpod if you missed it. This code doesn't work anymore because we used it this morning, so there'll be a new code. Okay, but this is how you go to Nearpod. You join join.nearpod.com. There's going to be a code. You join. You type your first and last name. Okay, so we spent a lot of time on Nearpod today. We talked about where negative numbers are. Negative numbers are on the left. Positive numbers are on the right. And 0, a lot of times, is in the middle. On Nearpod, we did an activity where we have to write integers. Now, integers is a fancy word for whole numbers. And the cool thing about integers is that they can be positive or negative, or they can be 0. Okay? So like 2 is an integer, 0 is an integer, negative 3 is an integer, but 5.5 is not an integer. 5.5 is not an integer. 5.2 is not an integer. Integers have to be whole numbers. Here, we asked our class to write an integer that represents each amount. For example, deposit is positive. Deposit is positive. So a deposit of 12 is positive 12, or just 12. So we wrote that in the answer. A deposit of 15, well, it's positive 15. A withdrawal of 5 is negative 5. A withdrawal of 8 is negative 8. We learned in class that deposit means to add money. That's why we have the plus sign. A deposit means to add money to our bank account. We also learned the word withdrawal. To withdraw money means to take away money from our bank account. That means our bank account is losing money. That's why it's negative. That's why this is negative. We also learned how to try to put these numbers on a number line. Now, banks are not the only place where we have positives and negatives. We also learned about elevation. Elevation is how high a place is above sea level. And this sign over here says you are 6,000 feet above the water. In fact, San Francisco is 52 feet above sea level. So we write positive 52. And since we are 6,000 feet above the water, we write positive 6,000. Sea level is always at 0 on a number line. In fact, in this picture, sea level is where the top of the water is, right here. This is sea level, right at the top of the water. If we're below sea level, we're in the negative. So all of this is negative right here. If we're below sea level, we're in the water. But if we're above sea level, like in the air or on land, we're in the positive. So positive numbers are here, zeros right here, negative numbers are here. And we use that information to do this activity. If we have a dog that jumps 5 feet above, we write positive 5. 5 feet above sea level is positive 5. A bird flying 20 feet above sea level, again, above sea level is always positive, so we write positive 20. A boat is floating on the surface of the water. Wait a minute. That boat would be right here. And we said sea level is where 0 is. So this is 0. A boat is floating on the surface of the water. A shark is swimming 10 feet below. Well, that has to be negative 10. Because below sea level is negative. If you're below sea level, you are in the negative. Anyway, the cool thing is that these slides are always here in Google Classroom, so you can look at the slides too. And then we did another activity where we compared some negative numbers as well, okay? So that's it. That is the lesson. So hopefully that was helpful information. All right, take care. Bye.